Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today it's going to be an epic match between soO and Neeb from Nation Wars 2019 here on World of Sleepers, the latter edition. Top right-hand corner is the Red Zerg player. He's Korean. He is soO. In the bottom left-hand corner, it is the American Protoss player, Neeb. Alright, man, both these players have had their ups and downs, but today they are representing their nations in Nation Wars 2019. And I haven't seen this. I didn't see it live. I haven't watched the replay, but based on the length, I figure it's going to be an epic game. If it doesn't earn the epic tag, I will not give it the epic tag, but I kind of feel like, based on the length, it's going to be incredible. Alright, so hatch first here. 16 supply for soO. 18 gas, 17 pool. Let me know if you've heard this one. Probe scouting here is Neeb out of his Gateway Expand build. And everything is standard at this point. Thank you so much for watching this. Hit the like button if you appreciate StarCraft 2 casts. Let's see, how many times a week here? Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 5 times a week you get StarCraft 2 on the channel, which is pretty darn good, man. I will tell you a secret. There was a time that I used to cast 2 StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void casts and post them every single day of the week. 2 a day. Was I insane? Probably. Probably fully insane. Did I get any more views than I do now when I do it 5 times a week? No! I don't know how this works. YouTube is a black box of mystery. And I thank you for joining me on my journey throughout it. Alright. Cybercore, yada, yada, yada. Ooh, quick third base from soO. Love these. Love the quick third base. It basically means you can't get your queens and your speed out as fast as you can if you wait for that spawning pool to finish before you throw down the hatch. So far, so good, I would say, out of soO. This is something that Solar likes to do as well. Seems to be more of a Korean Zerg style than anything else. On the other side of it, it's an adept opening from Neeb. Very standard, too. Got his double gas rolling. His expansion is about, I was going to say halfway done, but like 90% done. With this third base opening, this is really hard for Neeb to deal with. This is going to be a pretty greedy soO. He's going to toss down Spore Crawlers unless he can't get a scout off. He has an Overlord in a pretty good position here on World of Sleepers to see what's up. Overlord's popping, and we're not going to really know what soO is going for here until his lair is complete. Let me see what the tech choice is after that. I guess he could get a Roach Warren early, but again, it's just mostly safety roaches. It does not indicate he's going to go for a Roach Ravager strategy, although that does seem to be the kind of the safety play in the mid-game for Zergs these days, both against Terran and against Protoss, is to go for those Roaches and Ravagers. Adept does not finish the transfer in, as you don't want to do when there are, you know, Lings running around and Queens and whatnot. You're not likely to kill much, and you're probably going to die. He's coming in for another scout. Really wants to know if this lair is on its way or if there's a Roach Warren or anything. Checking the saturation on the natural. Yep, looking pretty good. So this doesn't look quite like a 2-base all-in. Out of soO, there is a pretty nice build involving Roaches and Ravagers you can do, mostly against Terran, but is pretty decent against Protoss as well, because look, Protoss has nothing right now. If this was kind of a Roach Ravager attack, everything would be dead. But that's not what it is. That's why the Adept is here. Oh, Adept's actually finishing the transfer in, and 2 of them are much better than 1. They do, again, 2-shot the Zerglings. Whack, whack. And drones, too. Also get that 2-shot treatment. And they end up getting killed there, too. Holy Dark Shrine, Batman. That is a quick Dark Shrine. I guess, yeah, just going to be Archon Harass here out of Neeb. Early stages. For a second, I felt like it might be DTs. Although, it very well might be DTs. I'm telling you right now. So let's keep an eye on that. Doubled. Ooh, 4 gases now. Up for Neeb. This does feel like maybe a little bit more than just Archon Harass off of these Dark Templar. We'll keep an eye on that one. Rich Vespene Geyser here, allowing soO to get a ton of gas off of the third base with only 3 drones instead of the 6. You would need to saturate 2 extractors, and that's a Roach Warren. So there's your safety Roach Warren. About 4 minutes coming up here. Recognizing the Protoss player is not massing units, doesn't have a lot of stuff with which to kill him. Therefore, he doesn't need to spend a lot on units. Let's just max out. Let's get on 4 bases, maybe even 5 bases before the Protoss player can bother us, and then we'll have a good time. Safety spores popping here too. Definitely get your safety spores at all 3 of your bases if you haven't quite scouted what the Protoss is up to. And at this point, definitely has not. That Adept exploded in a big explosion for an Adept. Oh, it is DTs. Just regular old DTs, but again, guess who has spores? So, it's not really going to work out for you, my guy. There's enough Lings and Queens here to cause some problems. They might be able to trap don't know, man. They're just trying to stay out of range of the Spore's detection and kill what they can, but, see what I'm talking about. Getting surrounded by Lings is really bad for DTs. One of them goes down. In fact, I'm trying to do some fancy micro here, but it's just not going to happen. So Neeb trying the DT route, and again, he made a whole bunch of DTs, but that was going to be it. Immortal production has begun. You're going to want Immortals versus Zerg in every game you ever play against the filthy Zerg race. Immortals are just great. I guess if your opponent happens to go for a Zergling Muta style, do not make Immortals. But otherwise, definitely go Immortals versus everything else you can see. And that's exactly what Neeb is working on. Or Prism, now we have Archons. See, DTs didn't get a lot done, so Archon's going to try to do some stuff, but the Roaches are out. And when there's a safety number of Roaches here, you know, 7 or 8 or so, maybe even 9, the Archons have a really hard time getting anything done. Every time they land, they're taking big-time shots and big hits. They did get an Overlord, so that counts for some kind of a kill. I mean, it is definitely a kill, but it's damage, but not a whole lot. That's all I'm trying to say here. That's an Evolution Chamber, Glial Reconstitution coming up. No sign. That's actually a late inject from soO. Is he late on his injects in this game? He's got 50 energy on this. Unless he's saving up. He's trying to save up for injects as needed. Which, fine. I'm down. I'm down with keeping energy up for injects. Just kidding. He just injected. Nope, that's not what's happening. That was just late. Third base almost done for Neeb, as we can see it warping in now. Now we can see it warping in. A lot of gateways coming off of 3 bases. This is just standard stuff. This isn't a crazy timing attack or anything out of Neeb. He's just doing what you do. Going for charge, going for +1 attack, making those Immortals, keeping the Immortal count on the increase. He's got 2 already. 3 will be nice. Fourth base from soO coming up at about 6.5 minutes, which feels late. Honestly, I don't know that soO is definitely on top of his game here, but he's okay. I mean, he's got 60 workers at 6 minutes, so can't complain too much about his macro at all here. Baneling Nest on the way. So like a Roach Ravager Baneling style, possibly. Definitely don't have a Hydralisk Den in production. So Roach Ravager Bane can be pretty good against this composition. If there are force fields, you just corrosive bile the stuff inside the force fields and kill them. Banelings versus the charge lots and the sentries. And then if you have enough Lings, you can handle the Immortals. And enough Roaches and Ravagers, you can handle the Immortals too. Just don't go pure Roach against this. You will die. Infestation Pit getting started from soO, top side. We'll keep an eye on that, see what his tier 3 tech is going to be. Ravagers in production, +1 attack coming in for the Lings, Banelings, and Ultras. Again, Ultras don't necessarily have to be built, but they will benefit from the upgrade whether they show up or not. Templar Archives coming in from Neeb. Storm, good unit against Zerg, no matter what they're doing. It's a good unit. You can storm the Banelings and kill them fairly easily. It's good against Roaches and Ravagers. Ravagers especially because they have actually lower HP than their Roaches do. It turns some of that HP in the ability to shoot corrosive biles out of their heads. I don't know how that works. Zerg is weird. There's your Hive. So Infestation Pit directly into Hive. Macro Hatch coming up inside the main base for soO. Got a bit of a pickup over here with some charge lots going to go into the main base and see what damage they can get done. The army's not in really a position to stop this at all. Is there really any kind of armed forces in here to deal with this? No, this is a really nice attack from Neeb. This is not such a good attack from Neeb. It's all going to die. This much better. Again, Zealots do not do the 8 damage on charge anymore, but they still charge. And they're really fast, but there's a bajillion Speedlings out, so wow. Reaction time from soO, dealing with the attack at his 4th and his main like a boss. Neeb has not really accomplished much by way of, oh, he got a Queen, by way of harassment, but he has forced some units out, and maybe that's all you have to do sometimes. Spire coming in from soO. I feel like we're going to Broodlord this thing. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't Broodlord this thing. Some Infestors would be nice. I'd love to see Microbial Shroud researched. We haven't seen Microbial Shroud on the channel yet. I don't know if that means it's bad or what, but Infestors haven't really been part of the Zerg compositions in a way that Microbial Shroud would show up. So I'd love to see it. This game seems like it's going to be long enough that if there's a shot, we'll get it. Spire pops. I imagine we'll go right into Greater Spire here. As soO's at 190 supply, 118 army. Again, this is just your mid-game army right now. It's going to be Lings, Banelings, Roaches, and Ravagers. Storm is done, and Ground Weapons level 2 is done for Neeb too, so I don't think he can save this Nexus. The Banelings, nice force fields there. Oh, Banelings coming in, storms all over the place. Couple probes die. Again, a couple more volleys on that Nexus. The Banelings getting stormed, though. Trying to tack on in. Neeb with some beautiful storms. He does force a cancel on the 4th, which I think was his main goal here. And he accomplishes it. He loses a ton of stuff. 5,000 resources lost for soO and 3,000 for Neeb at this stage of the game. Yeah, not great. soO did expand behind it, though. And again, force to get cancel on that base is a big deal. Greater Spire is about 50% complete here, plus 2 melee attack on the way as well, which does benefit the Broodlings. The Broodlings benefit attack upgrades for the melee and for the ground carapace. So that's why you want to get those upgrades if you're going Broodlords. Keep that in mind. A single Drop Lord in production. Dropper Lord with plus 2 coming up. This feels like a Baneling drop. Yeah, Baneling drop being planned down here to the south. So we'll watch that with great interest. I think soO's going to try to maybe attack into the 3rd and then Baneling drop in the 4th, but the 4th isn't a good place for it because there aren't any workers here, really. There's some long-distance mining happening, but that's it. 3 Banelings! There's your 19 resources refund. Some Banelings rolled in for some reason that way. Into the 3rd, but there were cannons, so that didn't really do much. Zealots charging their way into the 3rd. There's only a queen. Some drones are going to die here. For sure. Banelings, going for the natural cannon, trying to target fire. Oh, he gets it. He gets the full Dropper Lord. No Banelings come out at all, and no probes die whatsoever. Neeb on top of his game right now. Another queen probably going to die. No, the transfuse keeps it alive. A couple more drones die, but that's about it. Meanwhile, the army marching on up on the 3rd base. Or army for soO not really in position to stop this from happening. Broodlords exist, though, so never mind. The Broodlords are here. And the hatchery are going to die anyway. There's just too much attacking it. Broodlord DPS not actually that great as far as saving situations like that from happening. Big warping of Zealots charging into the 3rd base and the natural base. Neeb is playing as well as I've seen him play all year. This is Neeb fighting for the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. This is a recall right here, too. Or just a retreat. Yeah, losing a High Templar and an Archon there is bad. That's 3 High Templar down for nothing. For free units is what we're looking at. What's the answer going to be? For Neeb, he's making triple Stargate, going to go for those Tempests. 3rd base getting replanted from soO. And I have been calling this the 3rd. No, this is the 4th, and this is the 5th. Anyway, base ordering. It's important. We'll try to do better with it. soO needs to move some of the drones away from the natural base somewhere else, but I guess they were probably here at the 3rd, and now they can't be there because it's dead. Another Drop Lord trying to do some stuff. It's going to be Void Rays rather than Tempests out of Neeb. I kind of like it. Kind of like the Void Ray idea here, as there aren't any Hydralisks. There's nothing that can shoot up. There are some Corruptors, but nice Baneling drops here. Nice Zealot attacks in the main base. 17 Banelings down to that. That's incredible. 4 drones killed. Total number of worker deaths in this game, 16 drones and 20 probes. Fairly even across the board. But yeah, Void Rays are fantastic against both Corruptors and Broodlords. It pretty much necessitates the Zerg player to get Hydralisks if you're going to go for Void Rays. Or Vipers for Parasitic Bomb, which is definitely a possibility, as the Infestation Pit exists, but I don't see any Vipers in the air, and there aren't any. So, Void Ray, brilliant answer here from Neeb. I'm honestly super impressed by this. I haven't seen it done a whole lot, but then again, a lot of Zergs do go for Hydras right off the bat, so Void Rays are a terrible choice at that point anyway. Upgrade advantage, +3 attack ground for Neeb, +2 melee attack ground for soO, and then working on +2 flyer attack as he already has +1. Armor upgrades are not really his forte. In that incredible game between soO and Special that I cast from, was that from BlizzCon? I think it was a BlizzCon match. Yeah, soO didn't get air upgrades at all. Like, it was a long ZVT match between him and Special, and he didn't get +1 or 2 or 3 flyer carapace until pretty much the end of the match. And it was a very strange decision, but he seems to be following the same trend here. Armor upgrades for Zerg, 5 Infestors in production. Love to see the Infestors. That could be pretty good here as he sees the Void Rays. They just killed an Overseer. He knows they exist. That Changeling too. Scouts the information. Maybe not enough time to get into Hydras, especially with the upgrades they require. But at this point, Infestors are definitely well within the realm of possibility. They don't even have Pathogen Glands, do they? No, he was not planning on getting Infestors. If he was planning on it, he'd have gotten Pathogen Glands about a minute ago. But as it stands, this DT gets some kills, 3 drones down. The harassment by Neeb has been pretty consistently great today. 20 probes and 23 drones have been killed thus far. Neeb happily sitting on 4 bases. A 4-basing Protoss is pretty comfortable. soO, on the other hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. So we're pretty much economically even at this stage according to the minerals income and the gas income. We're looking at pretty straight up the same numbers across the board. It's just army supply for soO is about 30 more than the Protoss. Which makes sense. I mean, Protoss units are big and beefy. There's your fleet beacon. He might try drawing some Tempests into play here now, but I gotta say, I feel like there was a window where in which he could get some stuff done with a ton of Void Rays. He's just not using it. He's playing defensively, which is something that soO's okay with. If soO's going to be allowed to expand again, he has right side. He'll take it. He'll take the opportunity gladly. There's Pathogen Glands now. Infestors are out. Is this... Oh, what the heck? Do Infested Terrans exist? Did Nation Wars get played on the old patch? What? I did not realize that. Did I not realize that? We'll see if some Infested Terrans come out. Oh my gosh. I thought for sure this was played on the new patch. Why would Nation Wars not be on the new patch? Alright. Well, I gotta pay attention to charge here then, I guess. That's harder to figure out, though. But look, they're here. You have Infested Terrans on the tooltip. Alright. Well, we're going to find out sooner rather than later here what we're dealing with. Neural Parasites being researched. That's the same in the old patch and the new patch. Immortal Snipe. Immortal Base Snipe here. Gonna take down this 5th patch. Neeb is playing out of his skull right now. Okay, so the Immortals are dead because a million Corruptor showed up and the War Prism is out. 12 kills on an Immortal is not a bad number. Not a bad way to go. But yeah, Neural Parasite has to be researched both on the old patch and the new one. They did have some talk about making Neural Parasite a default upgrade, but they got rid of that pretty fast. That never actually made public. Another base sniped here from Neeb. I am liking this. I am liking it. He's basically sacking the Immortals because he knows they're not going to be that great in the coming air battles to come. Is there another Baneling drop? Where? What? Huh? Where was that? They're Immortals. That's a Zergling. I'm watching that mini-map. 7 probes die. But where? I don't see any probe corpses. Okay, that's a mystery. Game Heart mystery of the day. Unless Neeb sent them across the map to suicide them to free up supply, which he's been known to do in the past. Anyway, we're looking at a pretty crazy Skytoss army versus a fairly generic Zerg army right now, although Infestors and Broodlords do exist, and that combination is fairly lethal, as every Protoss player in the world can affirm. +2 air weapons is done, +2 flyer attack is done. So again, we're keeping pretty much a pace on the upgrades at this stage. More Infestors on the way. That DT is trying to get stuff done, but against the Spinecrawler forest wall, actually gets past it and starts going for the Baneling nest. Drones maybe? Drones are a better target. Forcing soO to use his resources on drones instead of attacking units is probably good. But he gone now. 2 drones is all he can manage. I think the drones might have actually defended themselves there. So there's your Fungal. Okay, that's normal. Fungal's fine. Neeb's got another base, you guys. He's 6 base in it right now, where soO is just now retaking his 6th. So on even bases right now. 7 Infestors in production. soO believes in the power of the Infestor. He's got 18 of them with 4 more on the way now. 22 Infestors. Are you kidding right now, ladies and gentlemen? That's a lot of Infestor. That might be the most I've seen in a cast in a long time. Resources lost, 13,000 to 15,000. Nobody really has the upper hand, but economically, again, I gotta say, Neeb doing really well for himself here against one of the preeminent players in the world. According to the WCS rankings, or the Korea standings, soO is way ahead of Neeb, but at least this year. But Neeb in the past has been shown he can go toe-to-toe with the best the world has to offer. And that's what we're looking at right now. Mothership in production here at 20 minutes. Are we going to take every base on World of Sleepers? I can't say I've ever seen that. It's a huge map. We still have 4 more bases to take before that happens. DT killing some drones in the bottom right. More probes die, and I just don't... This has got to be him just sending them out to die so they can free up supply, do the Fist of Neeb thing, right? Where he basically has 2 probes and the rest of his supply is army. When was the Fist of Neeb? How long ago was that game? Because that was a while ago. Super while ago. Anyway, Archons in the main, Zealots in the 5th. They're all dead. The Archons are fine. Pretty good. That bonus damage versus biological that Archons have applies to literally everything the Zerg player has, including buildings. So making Archons is not a bad idea versus Zerg. Although, again, that number of roaches can handle it. These DTs are going to go down too. 12 drones killed. Not a bad number here. But again, soO might just be trying to free up supply as well. Maybe Neeb is doing him a favor. Shadow Stride in production. I love me some Shadow Stride. Air Armor level 1 finishing up. Neeb, again, paying attention to the armor upgrades where soO is not all that interested in it. He still doesn't have any armor upgrades at all, period, for anything. So, again, this is the soO maneuver. Brood Lords have Revelation on. I'm trying to fly down this way, but Neeb knows because Revelation is a great spell. Another DT heading out, so we are just kind of playing a patient game right now. I do love the vision that soO has on these bases. This bottom right one does not have any vision, though. I kind of feel like somebody could take that, and the other player would not know for some time, or have it immediately get scouted. I don't know. Hey, Flyer Carapace level 1 coming in at 21 minutes. soO doing the upgrades. Doing those upgrades. Poke, poke, poke. We got a forest of spores here, which I've seen Protoss players complain about on the internet as well. Spore crawlers are bad, too strong, overpowered. The problem is without spores, Zerg dies in the early game, so I'm not sure how you balance this. I mean, maybe, again, it's kind of like a warp-in time thing. If a spore crawler is within a certain range of a hatchery, it's fine. But once it gets away from a hatchery, its attack speed is lowered by 30% or something. Something like that, actually, might not be a bad idea. Look at me coming up with balance ideas. Neeb's 6th base is in a heaping help of trouble right now. Small Gripper Roach Ravager going to try to wipe this thing out. Going to succeed just because, well, the army is not in a position to deal with it. They're going to kill one of your bases, though. So we're in a bit of a tit-for-tat situation here. Not a base race, per se. Look at the mothership. Oh, he's going to recall on top of these Roaches and Ravagers. Ah! Get out of here. Ooh, actually taking out a Void Array with Corrosive Bile. So 4 probes die. But the base stays alive. And it was kind of a delayed recall to save it. Maybe hoping that soO would overextend. But soO is a little bit too fetsy for that. Too smart. Too clever. Too deep thinking for that one. These spores are basically kissing Neeb's 3rd base. This is 3rd? Yeah, no, 4th. 3rd base. 4th. Ah! Numbers are hard. 1, 2, I think this was 3 and this was 4. I think this is 4. We talked about it earlier. That was 4. It's basically kissing the 4th base, which means the Brood Lords can fire on it with impunity because they can fall back to the spores. And Infested Terrans. What? Nation Wars was played on the old patch? Oh, it started before the old patch. I forgot about that. Baneling Nest does not get sniped because the DTs are distracted. Hey, 27 HP. Alright, Neeb ends up losing his 4th and 4 probes. Infested Terrans getting stormed and murdered. Additional group of Infested Terrans getting tossed down. And then recalling on out of there are these Void Rays. It's a dangerous place for them to be. Hive gonna get taken down by Dark Templar here. Or they're really trying hard. Just kidding. They are easily distracted by attacking enemies. Like, easily distracted by attacking enemies. Trying to Shadow Stride blink out of there to safety, but there's a spore up here. Wow, alright. DT's hacking away. I mean, this is some incredibly consistent DT harassment out of Neeb in this game. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying it quite immensely. Even as a Zerg main, this makes me feel good to see this happening here. I guess maybe it's because Neeb's an American, and I'm feeling American pride at the success of these DTs. Did he Neural Parasite an Archon that was merging? Today I learned you can do that. You can Neural Parasite an Archon that is merging. You can't do anything with it because it's merging. But wow, something I learned here today. 8 Corruptors in production from soO. Compositions, we're looking at 32 Corruptors, 20 Infestors, and 4 Broodlords. It's hardly any Broodlords at all. And then Neeb's got a carrier, 9 Void Rays, 3 Disruptors, a Mothership, and 6 Tempests with some Archons on the ground too. I mean, at this point, it just comes down to cost-effective trades, as late-game PvZ often does. CVT too. Then I think about it, and CVT. Anyway, all the matchups are about late-game cost-effective trades. At this point, it's very unlikely that anybody's going to get just a massive game-winning, game-ending victory. Both players have massive banks. They can afford to lose a base or two. Look at Neeb on the bottom right, though. I'm loving this. soO has not expanded for, it feels like, about 20 minutes. I know the game's only 25 minutes at this point, but I mean, soO's been on 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 bases since at least the 15-minute mark, it feels like. And he really hasn't expanded since. He hasn't taken this top base, which DT has vision on. Maybe he's tried, and the DT's just been whacking drones. No kills on him, though, so probably not the case. Ooh, he's going to try to expand. Look at this. We're talking about a 7th base for soO, and he's going to try it now. It's not going to work out for you, my guy. Drone, why don't you come into view? Come right into view. Throw down the hatch, and DTs will wreck it. Can you cancel it? Nope. No cancel. DTs go back to work. Oh, that's, well, work. By that I mean standing guard. Trying to get disruptor shots on anything right now. Static defense, maybe on some of these infestors. That'd be good. Not happening. Just not happening. Is seriously Neeb expanding over here too? Neeb is going to starve out soO if he keeps this up. And I think that's the plan, and I think it's going pretty well for him. The longer this game goes on, and the more Neeb's able to get up a pretty massive bank, the better it's going to be for him. He's still got 45 probes to 35 drones, despite him, again, what I think must have been intentionally sacrificing probes to free up supply a minute ago. Yeah, he's just moving his probes from base to base here, mostly worried about gas than anything else, getting upgrades, as those are expensive gas-wise. This DT's still alive after the Great Zerg Purge came through to clear this area out. Oracle's very bravely... oh, hang on. He got knurled, but I think his momentum carried him out of neural range and he disconnected. Incredible that he's still alive. Oh yeah, probes are, I guess, maybe just transferring probes have been killed too. I don't know. He scouted this base, though. I think for the first time he knows there's a base here. He might want to kill it. Well, he's not really making any movements to do that at the moment. So we were just patiently trawling the waters here, back and forth, back and forth. Still no 7th base from soO, though. And I think soO, yeah. He's coming down to this bottom right. He's going to try to split his attention between these 2 bases in the bottom and the bottom right-hand corner. Neeb's army is out of position to really save this without a recall. Infested Terrans landing prematurely, maybe hoping that Neeb will come over here and recall right on top of his units, but no, not interested. Neeb actually just, wow, gonna try to take down the Greater Spire. He could deny a +3 air armor upgrade. Meanwhile, 3rd base in a ton of trouble. It's effectively mined out, though. Neeb loses his Nexus down to the south. So it's a tit-for-tat situation, not a base race, just a base for a base. However, there are DTs everywhere causing major problems. For soO, the Infestation Pit going to get sniped by these guys. Greater Spire did not die, though I kind of feel like it should have there. Again, if the DTs were a little bit better directed. Archons with upgrades actually don't care much about your spines, but you know what? Neural Parasite does care about your Archons, and as a result, their mines are now the swarms, and they will be killed. Look, just DTs just blah, 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 blah. Neeb staying in this game with DTs, man. It is destroying. 61 drones have died. 5 hatcheries have gone down. By comparison, 3 Nexuses and 39 probes have died. soO is winning the kill the economy fight. Again, the DTs are not really great at running away. Do you have a stride on you? You do have a stride on you. Pulling back to the cannon's not a bad idea. soO can attack into this. Alright, huge battle, then a recall out of it. That was almost a huge battle, but the recall out saves the day. Bottom right-hand base is alive. Neural Parasite. Oh, they're... He tried to Neural Parasite himself, but a Neural Parasite's Novas won't actually harm the disruptor it came from. So... Did I say Neural Parasite? Whatever. Disruption Nova will not harm the disruptor that it came from. More probes going down. I can see these ones die, actually, which is really good news. soO replacing hatcheries in areas that are not super healthy economically. Neeb ends up losing his 4th. soO attacking on in with his Infestors, his Broodlords, his Vipers, his Corruptors. With +3 Flyer Carapace coming in now, too. Where the heck is Neeb's army right now? Neeb's army, oh, here it is. Hanging out, not really interested in engaging. Alright, well, this is your production, my guy. The Corruptors are kind of wrecking your air army at the moment. Trying to storm them into oblivion, but again, they have there are so many in number. They're not really splitting all that much, and I feel like they should be. But yeah, Cyber Core down, double Cyber Core down. All of these Stargates seem like they're going to die. Neeb doesn't want to engage. He's losing this stuff, but he took the top left-hand base. He's got the bottom right-hand base. We got Zealots forcing cancels on soO's hatcheries. This is where the chaos comes in. This is where the epic tag starts to brew for anybody watching right now, is when stuff is falling left and right. The Zealots are sitting at +3 attack and +1 armor. Additional armor upgrades would be nice, but harder to do, I think, at this stage of the game. Maybe Forge is still alive and still powered. Another hatchery down. Banelings trying to help save the day, and they do. So good against Zealots, our Banelings. They're not just for Marines anymore. Zealots continue to attack on in. Neeb is spending his bank to make this happen. He's down to 2,000 supply, or 2,000 minerals. soO also down at 2,000 minerals. Recall. That was a close one. Getting out of there. Trying to save. He does manage to save this base. These infested Terrans can't murder things forever. Their ground attack is actually not very good anyway. Nice Nova hit. Gets a couple Infestors. Whittling down that army is not a bad thing. It's 174 to 135 supply in favor of the Zerg right now, though. That's never a place you want to be. Abducting the mothership into the Corruptor Ball. It's down. Neural Parasite on a carrier. It's down. Neural Parasite on a Tempest. It is down. And soO strikes 3 very decisive blows at his Protoss enemy here. Broodlords firing cannons, trying to deal with Broodlings. Not what they want to do. Another Tempest goes down without even the aid of Neural Parasite at all. Neeb is trying to warp himself on the other side, but soO seems to have that fairly well on lockdown. It's 172 to 107 supply. And Neeb is in a world of hurt. He's going to lose another Nexus. Void Rays pushing in. Oracle goes down to Spores. Just kidding. Somehow is still alive with 4 HP. Yeah, Void Rays with upgrades, not shabby. Y'all, Charge Lots coming in. Murdering large groups of Ravagers. Oh, but then the Infestors come over and wipe out the Void Ray group. Oh, Neural Parasite. Stupidly good spell. soO, 135 supply. Neeb, 62. Another hatch goes down. soO doesn't have income, you guys. soO's income is done. He's got 0 workers. He's got 2 bases that are alive at the moment. Can Neeb win this thing? Corruptors are trying to Neural Parasite everything inside the main base, so the production dies. I don't know if they have enough to do it that fast, though. Okay. Yeah, this is getting the epic tag. When we're in a full-on base race situation at 33 minutes between Neeb and soO, it earns it. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Look at this. Look how many Corruptors are peeing on everything. Everything's dying. Production facilities, Nexuses, Dark Shrine, Templar Archives. Neeb has this space down here. He has this space down here. This space is mined out. It's not helping a lot. This space as well just about mined out. But if you look at the income, it is something for Neeb and nothing for soO. So soO took a while taking a 7th base, and I think he's regretting that at the moment. Killing these 2 buildings will reveal soO's remaining buildings. Assimilation successful on these Archons, but I think soO's being revealed now. This army dies because the Broodlords are here. Okay, so the Archons are fighting as hard as they can right now, but Broodlords are just the answer to them. soO is being revealed. The sheer number of cannons here versus these Corruptors, who will win? It's just the Corruptors have the air armor upgrades, which are going to keep them alive long enough, I think, to accomplish a lot, but That said, they flee. Again, any corruptor that dies here is a corruptor that is never getting replaced because soO is being revealed. What are his buildings? He has an extractor. He has an extractor right now. Where is it? It's up here. What army does Neeb have? He's got 2 zealots, 2 DTs, 2 stalkers, and an oracle. If he can kill this extractor, he wins right now. soO is making another hatchery, so perhaps that is a little premature to say. Where is he building this said hatchery, though? Production tab says counter engagement down here. More trying to pee on stuff. Stalkers fighting. Cannons firing. Shield cannons trying to help here too. Not going super well though. The corruptors are so hard to kill because they have that +3 flyer carapace. Archons and Stalkers are going to have to save the day here. The problem is this Broodlord Infestor composition, oh, there's the hatch, has infinite scalability here, protecting his hatch for all that it's worth. But Neeb, with a 46 worker count and 2 bases he's pretty happily mining from, trying to retake the top left-hand base, but there are some corruptors over there to deal with that too. Look at him expanding again. Oh, Neeb, this is your game to lose, my guy. This is your game to lose. soO has 83 minerals in the bank. Neeb's bank is down to 200 minerals.
I am but a phantom.
The caustic spray. The caustic spray. Remember when corruptors were useless against ground targets, entirely useless, another Nexus dead? I remember when corruptors were useless against ground targets. In a situation like this, you make enough corruptors to deal with the air army, and then the ground army just wipes you out. That was Wings of Liberty. That was Heart of the Swarm to a certain extent. And then Caustic Spray was introduced, and corruptors had late game viability in situations like this they had never had before. So just remember the days. Remember the days when Neeb has this 1 right now because soO overmade corruptors. That's what would have happened if this exact scenario had come out. Oh, the neural parasites, though. Why don't you have detection available? Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, Infested Terran, good unit. Removed entirely from the game. So if you're watching this and saying, how am I supposed to deal with this? The answer is play the current patch of StarCraft 2. You'll never have to deal with these suckers again. Well, never is a long time, but you won't for a while anyway. Okay, I mean, again, Neeb has every advantage, but soO also has free units, so that's a difference. Look at Neeb researching Blink at 37 minutes. That's fantastic. All right, Neeb's left side base comes up. I don't even know what number this is, like a 5th or a 6th or something like that. All of his probes immediately run over there to try to get some mining done. Okay, not all of them, but a lot of them. He's oversaturated at this point. Getting this gas, there's 1,000 gas left there. Ooh, yeah. Definitely saturate that assimilator, my guy. There's European. Southern base, 6 o'clock position done. Enough stalkers to chase these corruptors away, but not enough stalkers to deal with the number of infestors that exist right now. 6 o'clock base, out. Out, I say. Neeb does saturate the high, high impact, high velocity situation. What is this called? Rich Vespine Geyser. I always think it has something to do with the word high, but that is completely wrong. Look at Neeb replanting a base down here, even though he can't protect it against corruptors at all. He has no cannons and no stalkers in this location whatsoever. He really should have some. He wants to make sure that Blink finishes, and I'm not sure that it's going to, based on the proximity of these corruptors and how fast it will take them to kill this Nexus. And their next target, there's a... Look at that Chrono. Neeb's like, Chrono boost. Chrono boost. Go, Blink. The corruptors are flying away. Okay, it's not intense anymore. I'm sure some of you are saying, Falcon, never do that again. Neeb trying to replant the 6 o'clock, but corruptors say, how about you don't do that? How about you don't do that, lads? soO has income, by the way. He's got 2 mineral patches he's working from, but he has income. And all of these warp gates and this Twilight Council will die now. I mean, how often do you see this? The answer is not often. You do not often see corruptors individually target firing down buildings with their caustic spray. Usually they're all trying to take down a planetary fortress or a nexus or something. Nice blink. Nice blink. Anything he doesn't kill, though, we will regenerate its HP. Because that's how Zerg works. It's not Mutalisk regeneration. It's not tissue regeneration. But it's a regeneration nevertheless, and it will benefit soO here immensely. Oh, good one. Good hit, though. Good hit again. Another Corruptor down. Every Corruptor down is a major victory. soO has to restart his economy and his tech tree from scratch right now. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He can't do it. He doesn't have the gas to do it. I'm not even sure why he's mining minerals right now anyway. What is he spending them on? Look at Neeb. He's like, I have the income to continually replace these bases that your corruptors keep burning down. Is that discouraging for you, soO? Is that discouraging, my guy? Look at him killing creep tumors here at 40 minutes. This is so good. And Neeb is abusing the immobility of the Broodlords. The Broodlords can't be everywhere at once. The Corruptors can't be everywhere at once. He can't simultaneously kill every one of these bases. If he could, I'd feel better about soO's chances. What do you think? The Corruptors take this base out. The Broodlords take this base out. But if the Broodlords are unsupported by either Infestors or Corruptors, they just die. And the Infestors actually have to be here. You can't... Oh, free Infestors, though. Free Infestors, though. Free Infestors, though. The Fungal and the Broodlords. Oh, whiffed on that Fungal. That was a big whiff. If he had landed that, that would have been huge for soO. But no, instead, he keeps the Stalkers alive. This group of Stalkers going after the Corruptors, wiping them out quite nicely. I think Neeb has this game. We're down to 18 Corruptors. We have 20 Stalkers on the ground. That's a great ratio for Neeb right now. Especially considering, again, they have the +3 attack versus armored. They have that bonus, which means Corruptors are armored and take that bonus damage. Here come the Broodlords, but I just don't think it matters. You can wipe out this base, sure. It doesn't actually matter to Neeb all that much. He has this space. He has this space. And he has this space. You can't move fast enough to beat him. soO trying to take his 12 o'clock again, which is not a bad idea. But army supply, 73 to 74. It's this worker supply that's the problem. And the number of bases that Neeb has. Nice blink! Nice blink on the Broodlords. Just kill one of them. Blinding Cloud coming down on the Viper. Bunch of Stalkers getting murdered there too, but Neeb just patiently pulling back. That's what he has to do. Warping in some Stalkers down here to save the space would be really nice, Neeb. We're so worried about this attack happening. This army is stuck. Can he recall them out? Look at him blinking in on top of these Broodlords. He's getting blinding clouded though, and the pathing with the Broodlings. Storm, and more Stalkers show up. The Broodlords are gone. And that's your good game. Neeb takes the game in 42 minutes and 30 seconds. What a ridiculous ZVP. That was a game. That was a ZVP. That was a Protoss win over an Imba Infestor Broodlord strategy from one of the top Zergs in the world. This had to make a few different demographics on my channel extremely happy. That might be the last great win of a Protoss over a Zerg in late game ZVP in the last patch, because that patch is over now. But again, if all of Nation Wars was played on this patch, then maybe there are some other ones I'm unaware of. If there are some games from Nation Wars you want me to cast, let me know. I would love to cast them. Just hit me up in the comments below. I read every comment, you guys. I read every single comment anybody ever places down below, so keep that in mind. So, yeah, end of the day, I mean, it was 11 Corruptors for soO and a Viper. So that's not going to win your game, unfortunately for him. Neeb, 23 Stalkers with, again, the +3 attack upgrades. Really important stuff. 62 probes to 12 drones, and that's going to be all she wrote. 62,000 resources lost for soO. A full 78,000 resources lost for Neeb. He lost 12 Nexuses, 15 Warp Gates, 44 Dark Templar, 20 Archons. Did he really only lose 15 Stalkers? I guess he wasn't going Stalker heavy until the end. So that makes sense. 22 Void Rays got killed, a Mothership, 9 High Templar. soO lost 22 Infestors, which is pretty much all the Infestors. Remember when he had like 24? That makes sense. Wait, why doesn't he have any left over? The math doesn't add up. 12 hatcheries and a hive went down. I mean, that's a lot of buildings if you're Zerg. And 14 Broodlords. I mean, it's so... so much dead stuff. And I loved the ending strategy from Neeb. I really did. Just, he recognized that Broodlords are slow. This is a big map. All you have to do is pretty much just run around. Just run around expanding everywhere. The Broodlords can't catch it fast enough. The Corruptors can be handled with Stalkers and just strategic locations. And over time, that's just a winning strategy. It's not going to win now, but it's going to win in the long run. And winning in the long run is just as viable as winning now. He knew he couldn't win in a straight-up engagement, so he just basically made himself an economic powerhouse that soO couldn't keep up with. And he got the win. Boss. What a fantastic win from Neeb there. I'm not even sure if there were any other games won by America in the U.S. versus Korea for Nation Wars. But if there weren't, this was good. This counts, man. Neeb. Love this guy. Love him so much. But all right, enough rambling from Falcon. That is going to be it from me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.